Hi, it's Zoe with Hoffman Tutoring Group, and today I'm going to show you how to model multiplying fractions with an area model. I have a couple examples for us, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to learn how to model is 1/2 times 1/3. So 1/2 times 1/3. And we're going to look at this on an area model. You may be familiar with an area model. It's basically taking that concept of length times width to multiply. So if we were multiplying 3 times 2, we could make a rectangle that was 3 by 2 to see what would be on the inside, which would be 6. So we're going to do that with fractions, and it's going to look just a little bit different, but it's the same concept. So first we're going to start out with our area model square or rectangle. So here I have my rectangle, and this represents a unit of 1. And we're going to split this unit of 1 into fractions. And the first fraction we're going to split it into is 1/2. And I'm going to try to use different colors here to help us see the different fractions. So I need to split this in half. So I'm going to split it right here. It's not going to be perfect, but that's in half. And I'm going to label the half that I'm going to shade in. So I'm going to shade in the half that we're dealing with right here. So it can be the top or bottom half. I always choose the top half. So I'm going to make a bracket. The bracket's definitely not going to be perfect either. And I'm going to label this 1/2. And I'm going to shade it in. So I'm shading in my half, and it's big, so it might take me just a little bit here. I want to get it shaded enough that I can see that it's shaded, but not so much that it's super dark, especially if I'm doing it with a pencil. So then next, we're going to deal with this 1/3. So this 1/3, I'm going to make my thirds going the opposite direction. So here, since I started out horizontal with my 1/2, I'm going to make my thirds up and down. So I'm going to make my thirds, and can you see where the thirds are? So I have 1, 2, 3 thirds. And here I'm going to shade in 1/3. So I'm going to mark 1/3 right here, and I'm going to shade that third. So shading. And now I have both of those fractions shaded. The part that's going to be my answer is the part that's double shaded. So you can see here where my red and my blue is overlapping, it's kind of making that purple color, and that is the part that is going to be my answer. So I can see this square right here is a 1 by 1/2 square, and it is 1/6 of my whole. You can see the 6 parts here that we made with our overlapping lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts, and this is one of my 6 parts. So 1/2 times 1/3 is going to equal 1/6. And again, you can see my 1/6 right here. I'm going to do it in a different color so you can see it even better. Right here is my 1/6 because it's the 1/3 by the 1/2. We're going to try this again with a different example. So for this example, we are going to do 1/3 again, but times 2/5. So again, I'm going to start out with my unit of 1, which is going to be my rectangle. I'm going to put it down here. And so I am going to split first into thirds, and I'm going to do them this way. You could do them up and down. It doesn't matter as long as you just start with 1/3. And I am going to label the 1/3 that I'm going to shade in. So this is 1/3 right here, and I'm going to shade it. So I'm going to pick purple to shade it this time. I'm going to shade my 1/3. Shading, 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 shading. Again, not so dark, but not so light. And now I have to move on to my fifths. So I need to split this into fifths, and so I'm going to make 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, trying to make them as even as possible. So can you see where my fifths are? This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fifths right here. And I'm going to need to shade in 2 of them. So I'm going to mark off 2 fifths. As you can see here, 2 fifths, and I'm going to shade them in. So this is 1 fifth, and this is 2 fifths. Hopefully that helps you see it a little bit better. So I shaded in my 2 fifths, and again, my answer is going to be this double shaded portion. So instead of it just being one of the squares this time, it's 2. So here, my 1/3 by 2/5 area is 2 out of the amount of pieces, equal size pieces, that my whole is split into. So here our whole is split into 15. You can see it, we'll count it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 equal pieces. And my double shaded part is 2 out of 15 equal pieces. So our answer here to the multiplication problem is 2/15. I hope this helps you learn how to model multiplying fractions. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And if your child needs some personalized help with their math homework or with math concepts, we would love to set them up with a tutor at Hoffman Tutoring Group. Find our contact information in the description below.